Recording.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this second lesson of the year. Well, anyway, we're going to do this continue from what we have last week lesson, because we have to cover up most of the things like this is chapter 9. Okay, can all of you turn on the camera, please? Thank you very much. Hi, Bei Kun, ni hao. How was the first week in school? How is it? Good. All right. Xing Chen, will you mind turn on your camera as well? All right. So good, huh? So it's more, the test will be more coming. As usual, I think every month there will be a test. I told you before, right? So we're going to talk about chapter 9. Okay, what are the economic impacts of globalizations and entity is the benefit? Why do we think that globalization is still benefits? Why do you think globalizations is important in your set for and in your future, right? I think last week we talked about it, right? Okay, so at the end of the lesson, yeah. Wait, okay, give me a minute. This take a picture. Okay. So last week, some of you, right, Xing Chen and Bei Kun, right, you all took some of the questions really. Later, we still have to go through. These are the questions that we have discussed last week by all of you, by Qiao Xing, Xing Chen, Bei Kun, and Zhao Xuan, and also Yang Xiang, right? If I'm not mistaken, is it Yang Xiang? I forgot his name. Give me a minute. Yeah, Yang Xiang is still not in. Okay, right. Okay, we have finished this part here, right? And then we talk about how the global. Okay, so now the benefits of globalizations. Why? Why is it that SMEs still benefit through globalizations? Number one, I told you right last week, if I'm not mistaken, that we create an employability. Small, medium-sized companies are Bei Kun, so left Xing Chen, you Xing Chen, you still have to help me to take part and answer the question. So Bei Kun, how many are there for a staff that is for SME, small medium enterprise? 大概有几个工人 Any idea? For SME?
Not over 50.
200, not more than 200. Okay, not more than 200. So you can see, 那些大大小小的 SME 在新加坡, it actually create a lot of employment. True enough. Now, but because of this COVID, now a big company closed down, and then if they don't come in for investment, this SME will not be able to employ people and support people. True enough. Because in your textbook, I told you right now, you have to bring a textbook to show that which page is important. But today, don't worry. Today, not so much on the textbook, but I'll just go through with you, okay? So, Bei Kun, can you be kind enough to read this, the blue one?
Benefits of globalization for small open companies.
So when if I say important, please highlight it and take note. So now I take away the blue one. See, hopefully I can take away. If not, then cannot, sorry. Cannot. Okay. So I'll tell you which one is important, okay? Go.
Globalization, broadly defined as the cross-border mobility of goods and services, people, capital, and knowledge. It has long been a key to enable
enabler of economic growth.
Has long been a key enabler of economic growth for many countries.
Okay, take note. We are talking about key enablers of economic growth. Okay, this one is very important because this key enabler 就是他们已经好像 is part and parcel of helping the multinational company to form the fabrics of the whole entire business. Okay, and it's more important. Okay, Zhao Xuan, if you can hear me, can you show me a thumbs up? You okay, Zhao Xuan? Can So this key enabler is that means they also thank you, Zhao Xuan. Okay, you just listen. In case you have any question, you can raise your hand and ask me. Don't worry. And then if you don't feel like talking, you can type to Uncle Raymond. Okay, wait. Let me put the chat there. If not, I don't know who is talking to me. Okay, no problem. I saw your message already, Zhao Xuan. So Wei Kun, the key enabler for one example that SME play a very important part is that they have some items that the MMC require. So certain things that maybe they are specialized, Wei Kun. So for example, if I want to manufacture a handphone or a certain car parts or certain printer, which I used to work with one of my ex-students' father's company. So there's certain printer needs certain parts that only certain parts can be produced by SME and it's more cost effective. So this is where this printer company will ask my ex-student father to assemble. Right, so not all the parts will be assembled because it may not be cost effective. So okay, take note of that. And it's very important if next time you want to go to poly or study business, you understand that everything's all knitted together. Carry on, it allows country.
It allows countries to produce and consume at more optimal levels. Increased specialization, improved capital allocation, and greater competition.
Okay, take note please. More optimize this part here. Okay, increase specializations and improve capital allocations and greater competitions. I think you all agree, right? You know, iPhone, Xingchen, will you mind turn on your camera? Because I can't see you. So you see, Pei Kun, thank you, Xingchen. You see, if iPhone itself is actually, Xingchen, is manufactured in, oh no, sorry. iPhone is from US, correct? Right, Xingchen? And it's manufactured where? Where is it manufactured? In other parts of the world, right? True? Right, Xingchen? Can you hear me? Right? So Pei Kun, you agree, right? So which part of the things that is manufactured, like this, let's say the iPhone, the MacBook, or the iPad, most of the parts are developed in other parts of the world, right? From China mostly. Why? Because the cost of labors is cheaper, the manufacturing cost is cheaper, and there's is certain maybe SME or company there, they have a more competitive edge. The materials are cheaper. So in order to earn more profit money, and that's how it works. One of the very good example, if you really cannot remember, you wear jeans or Pei Kun? You wear jeans? You know jeans, right? The Levi's jeans, Levi's, you know Levi's, So Levi's jeans actually, they are, okay, Levi's jeans is US product, right? But it's actually manufacturing in Cambodia. So Cambodia 柬埔寨很便宜啊。你看一个 Levi's jeans， 如果你去一个 any shopping center in Singapore, it will cost you a few $100s. But the manufacturing cost is so cheap because of this. Here, take note of this one. Okay, come carry on, please. Pei Kun, thank you.
Users can enjoy economies of scale and reduce costs through the enlargement of markets. Consumers benefit from lower prices and access to a wider variety of goods and services. International trade also helps to foster healthy competition, thus spurring technological progress and productivity.
I quite disagree to say that they foster healthy competitions. All right, I quite disagree. Because take for example, if you say Starbucks, Coffee Bean, Ya-Kun, and some of the or Coffee Empire or whatever in Singapore. Yeah, for a consumer, you'll be spoiled for a choice that I can drink different type of coffee. But to say foster healthy competition, it depends, right? Agree not? Xingchen and Pei Kun. Okay, for example, Pei Kun, if let's say you work in Coffee Bean and I just realized that Starbucks is going to open another shop, I will definitely go there and push you to take over. 我会招兵买马，我可能去 Coffee Bean 说，不要在这边做工，来我这边做工，我给你更高的工钱。Which for the employee 工人当然是 benefit 对吗？可是一个 company who trains the staff to become a manager or supervisor or a senior a waiter or things like that, then suddenly someone come in and take. So it depends. Okay, it also depends. Like for example, it's a technological progress. So you realize this chapter 9, globalization impact also got benefits, but at the same time, it also cause disadvantage. So from this essay itself, you can from this passage itself, you can use it for your essay. So doesn't mean globalization's 100% is good. Of course, the benefit goes to depends on us. Sometimes the benefit started immediately for a country, for a company. Maybe halfway through, the benefits is not so good. It might become a disadvantage. So it depends on how you see at different angles. And of course, you see like Grab food, Bacon like Xingchen, Grab food. Before COVID-19, nobody bothered to go for Grab food. True now. Everyone would like go shopping. Then suddenly 2 years ago, we got this circuit breaker. Wow, Grab food suddenly just increased. Very good, right? Then we have Food Panda, we have Deliveroo, then we got Gojek, all these coming in. Why? Because of technology, you see, because of technology now that we can order through the apps, and we even can track that these Grab food guys where is he coming? You take 2 minutes, 3 minutes to reach to your house and things like that. Then while you're on the way, before you can go home, maybe on the way in the MRT, you start ordering your food already. So by the time you reach home and the food just reach home, just nice. You get what I mean? You don't need to wait, and then you can eat immediately. So this is something, okay, good benefits, but not all is benefit. But then, Bacon, you agree now? Because of this Grab food, all these things, then 楼下的煮炒没有人要吃了。You get what I mean? 对不对？你家你懂 HDB right 新城 ？Then how about the downstairs？ 你懂那些咖啡店那些煮炒就是可能没有生意So it might people want to have spot for choice. Carry on, please. Thus spurring
technological progress and productivity. In the
sorry, again, I can't hear you. One more time.
Thus spurring technological progress and productivity. In the post-World War II era, emerging economies have been major beneficiaries of economic openness. For the benefits from the first wave of globalization
accrued mainly to owners.
Accrued mainly to owners of capital in the industrialized world. The gains from the latest wave of globalization has been more evenly distributed, resulting a dramatic reduction in global poverty levels. In Asia, the erstwhile newly industrialized economies of Korea, Chinese Taipei, Hong Kong, SAR, and Singapore, and more recently China and Malaysia, has reaped substantial dividends.
Dividend is the profit that earn the money, okay?
Dividends from pursuing an export-oriented development strategy by opening up the economies and participating in global value chains. They were able to industrialize and grow rapidly for long periods, and in the progress transformed themselves into middle or higher income countries.
This is the part now, take note now, children, is talking about social economic status and social economical class. Recently, I was doing Google and saw that there's one assessment book, 吴大哥要跟乔欣讲，有一本 SS guidebook. Okay, I find it is very 很偏见. I find it is not fair. It was saying that higher income people 玩高尔夫球，lower income people 可能是打那些 game sport 不要，你懂意思吗？ So higher income people will eat restaurant, lower income people will eat a hawker center. 贝坤 does it make sense or 星辰 No, right? Right. So that was the text. It's not a textbook, it's a guidebook. So it become if you don't believe, you can Google and there were these comments. It was, I think, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and this book was being banned. Cannot like that one. How can you say higher income 我吃高楼餐厅 then lower income 就是说没有资格吃高楼餐厅 but 他把它分析到 economical status. So you say this is the one, and which is what they say, what he say in the books is not wrong. Bei Kun, Xing Chen, and Zhao Xuan, and Qiao Xing, and Yang Xiang, if you are listening, it's not wrong. That it is very true that once you have the more what called purchasing power and expenditures, I mean more money to spend, it's nothing wrong to buy Louis Vuitton, Hermes, and then the lower income you cannot. But that doesn't mean they cannot afford to buy expensive product. But what is saying that this is where the segregations is. This is where, because sometimes globalization can make people into separations. 穷的就很穷，很有钱的就很有钱。That's what he meant. But in the way he give the example is like not right. 对吗，贝坤？对不对？就是他说每次人家讲你看每次犯罪了一定是马来人。因为是每次很多有孩子的很多小孩子就一定是马来人生了很多孩子。I mean 就是一帆竹竿打着整条船。贝坤 ，That's not right, right? The mentality you don't love Usually, the older generation of my generations, every time I hear these old people, must be the Malay, must be the then 赌博那个大耳窿的一定是华人借钱，赌博赌输了是啊。You know, it's very stereotyping. You know what I mean? 现在有了this is why social study want to tell you, please do not stereotype. 不要说一定大耳窿就是华人。This is a multi-racial country. 明白吗？ So the reason why we want to educate this generation is to make sure that look, transform themselves into middle and higher income. That doesn't mean we're going to segregate. The rich must be the Chinese, the poorest must be the Eurasian or Indian. 没有这样的。That's why 我们有 CDAC, you know CDAC 吗？ The Chinese Development Association of Commerce 就是华人的，还有 Mendaki 就是照顾马来人，还有新大就是照顾印度人的。So 我们要一视同仁。That's why remember meritocracy, right? The first chapter we study. So we want to make sure that this is the only sorry, I cannot use the only country. I think I can safely say that this is the only country that will help all races, right? And in fact, you can see that those big countries like US, they can say they are very democracy, but then again, how are they're still quite racism, correct? And then the human rights and all these things. So globalizations have a very strong impact because sometimes, take note, children, sometimes certain race cannot accept globalization because of their culture, their value, their traditional religions or whatever. They cannot accept it. So that's it. But that doesn't mean you stop them from coming in for globalization. 你要慢慢的, I will use the SSD, slowly, surely, definitely. You have to transform and change. That's why they use the word transform. Take note, it transform. It's the word transforming, not forcing. 不是逼你如果是逼你去做 then I tell you, Pei Kun and Xing Chen and Zhao Xuan, if you agree with me, Zhao Xuan, never mind, I don't need to thumbs up. If you agree with me, you'll become a war. 如果你逼一个人 to follow, to adapt globalizations, at least then cannot. It's 慢慢的 transform. Some people say like 脱胎换骨, 慢慢 change the things. Well, I won't say it's wrong, right? Okay. So being a small open economy, Singapore provides a good if somewhat unique. Okay, right now a somewhat unique illustration of these transformations. Okay, so it's not 100% of children. Take note, we are doing our best. I don't like to use the word try. We are doing our best to transform this. You know why? But we cannot do it. You know it's about Pei Kun and Xing Chen and Zhao Xuan and Yang Xiang and Qiao Xing later if you're listening. A lack of natural resources and indigenous entrepreneurship at the outset of industrial. Okay, 因为刚好 this period of time, children, what happened? 就是新加坡刚刚独立，刚刚 independence. We do not have the 人才, the 5M. I told you before, the art of war, 孙子兵法. One of them is the manpower. We do not have the enough manpower and the materials to do it. So what happened? We have no choice, children. Take note of this one, foreign direct investment. So 我们需要外来的那些所谓的 investment to come in. Agree 了？贝坤你不见了 ，Sorry, I did not see you. I just saw you that you mute your mic. You mute your mic, your camera. Okay. Useful for you to know. What is they always like to use this word, take note. Is my Wi-Fi okay? Yeah, because it showed me my internet not very good. So can you hear me? Because it showed that my internet is lagging. So take note of this word, technical know-how. This technical know-how is Singapore is really into it. That's why we got this smart nation. Was it 2020 or 2030, right? Correct. Smart nation. That is why children, you guys have the iPad, all the tablets. The reason why we are going to have this word called the paradigm shift to move you guys from out of the old way of school, the technical know-how. You heard of Python programming, Xing Chen? You heard of Zhao Xuan, you heard of Python programming. So this Python programming is something like a new wave of teaching you all for programming. Luckily, I'm not involved because I'm no good in programming. Okay, let's move on. So take note of this highlighted yellows are highlighted. Openness to trade and investments has allowed Singapore to continuously raise its productive and technology capability. This is a very, 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 very important sentences. Okay, so I think I should use red color to highlight it. It's super important. Okay, I hope too dark. Sorry, I don't mind. So I go back to yellow. Now this sentence, let me tell you why is it important? Because Singapore opened foreigners to come in to invest. Singapore don't have natural resources. You know, 被困现在要过年了，那个洋葱啊。吴大哥火锅这些东西卖24块，我第一次长这么大，我也是听到那个老板讲说，我在这边卖菜卖这么久，那个洋葱这么贵 ，because you know why？ 因为那个马来西亚 flood， 所以他们进货的时候 ，you see， 哦，让你 understand， 我们这个国家不可以没有外国的 investment and others， 真的。可是还有人要买洋葱24块钱 ，I think 1 kilo， was it 1 kilo？ What I can't remember。很夸张哦，对不对 ？But no choice because we need to open. Then 怎么办？我们不要吃啊，我们不要过年了。连那个鱼呢，那个虾呢 ，you can imagine oh, the country like our neighbor Malaysia, they are having problem in terms of flood and COVID, and yet they have to transport 他们的蔬菜来到新加坡。We cannot ask for more already. True not? Oh, bacon and the rest of it, right? We need that. So when our neighboring has problem, 所谓远亲不如近邻，对吗？ Right? We need to help our neighbors. So like you see, like recently, like few years ago, or was it tsunami in Indonesia, and then Malaysia also got problem, or Thailand got problem. We come and help them. And in fact, Indian all the way, remember Bacon, they do not have this vaccination. We send, oh no, sorry, they do not have oxygen tank, right? 吴大哥你知道 right? 印度没有那个 oxygen tank. 我们真的抛药, we ship it all the way to India. India, no, so far away. Why we do that? We should help our Southeast Asia country. So that is the reason why. Because you never know, such a small country like Singapore, we need that kind of connectivity. We need that kind of openness to trade. Okay, we just remember, Bacon. You see, a small company, let's say you start a small company. Okay, the big company can have the choice to choose other small company. As a small country, we cannot be a beggar, can't be choosy, right? We need to survive because of that. And you see the continuous, they say, you see, I think Mr. Lee Kuan Yew and Mr. Goh Chok Tong, the two previous prime minister, have done a very good job. That you keep emphasizing technological capability, value added. You see, now we are talking about artificial intelligence. I won't be surprised. Udaka, just remember right now, all of you right now. I won't be surprised one of the SBQ will talk about artificial intelligence because last year it came up, this Dyson SBQ about Dyson want to invest in Singapore. As we know, Dyson is a very big company in Britain, right? Xingchen and Zhaoshan, right? Why this big company investing in Singapore? Because we have the technological know-how. 明白吗? We have the expertise like people like you. Seriously. Why don't Dyson in sorry, no racist or anything. Why don't Dyson invest in say this way Nigeria, Tasmania, not Tasmania, that's Zimbabwe, 都那些 Africa 的国家还是 Brazil 呢？对吗 ？Brazil 也是很大吗？为什么不要？为什么要偏偏找新加坡呢？ Because number one, we are bilingual. Because number two, our governments are not corrupted. Because number three, we have a very highly educated populations. Okay. All right. Understand, huh? Bacon? Okay. So in the region's production network, that's fun from this to this. I think this is the biggest times. I think Uncle Wu and myself will know these are the period where there's a transformations, a big manufacturing transformation. And Singapore was considered one of the former underdeveloped to under Mr. Lee Kuan Yew hands and slowly to be a developed country. Why? Because take note, Xingchen, will you might be kind enough to read as a result? Xingchen, so that I can explain the other paragraph, please. Thank you, Xing Chen. As a result,
Singapore's industrial structure and export product mix have changed considerably, and multinationals have not only increased their presence but also diversified their support. Singapore also stands out for its heavy dependence on the free flow of capital, which is vital for performing its roles as an entrepot and financial center for the Southeast Asian region.
thank you. I think since 吴大哥你也在这边哦 it's good to advise 乔欣 and in fact all of you you guys should talk about this 因为我的大儿子吴大哥，他今年27岁，他有一个机会，他是读 Bio 的，我不知道乔欣是读 Bio 吗？乔欣是读 Bio 吗 ？Biology 吗？如果是 Bio， 他就会去那个 A Star， 在 Biopolis Buona Vista 那边，然后他就可以做 internship， 然后就学会那些 R&D 的东西。OK， good， well done， 赵璇。So please, I hope this year because you are set for, my elder son got the chance to go there to do during the June holiday. They were attached to there, Zhao Xuan, that you learn about this. And because of this testimonial, it definitely, I was so surprised. At first, Wu Dage, I thought, nothing lah, no, 只是给小孩子玩玩学东西. But I'm very surprised. After so many years, after he graduated from his army and then his uni, he really used that testimonial during the O level to look for job. And it was very helpful. 真的. Because 我 after that 我分析但是如果你是吴大哥跟我，如果我是 interviewer， 我就会觉得，这个小孩子从16岁 from 15, 16, he or she already 产生那种 passion to love this subject. So I would definitely like to encourage. So children, instead of playing games, of course you continue to play game, but you take this time to tidy out your profile, your testimonial, to showcase to your interviewer, to showcase to people that you want to go to certain JC using the DSA or EAE, whatever it is. Then you tell me, uncle, you tell me this one for what? What got to do with social study? Exactly, children. That's how Singapore government do these type of things. They showcase to other countries. When other countries want to build and have manufacturing plant, they want to see the testimonial, the profile of the country. Whether is it feasible for me to invest a large, huge amount of money to this country to build infrastructure to bring my expert to Singapore? 明白吗？贝坤跟星辰，对吗？就像好像乔欣这样，为什么我要选你的宝贝儿子乔欣？其他的，因为他有这些的东西，所以 then 你就会变成是一个经济独立 ，the rose among the thorns. That's why Singapore comes in a lot of investment. The government really go out, especially the foreign minister, to go out to do presentations, to encourage people to come into Singapore to invest. That is why you see Sir Stamford Raffles, when they found Singapore, he asked William Farquhar to go out to tell people, hey, come to Singapore, free trade, no tax. Okay, the more you come, we'll give you more benefits. So same thing, children. It's about time now you tidy out your testimonial. You never know. Next year, when you get your result, then you want to go to certain school, certain courses in JC, they need you for interview because it's so competitive. So the only time with your testimonial and with your profile, you can 别出心裁. And I think I'm using my elder son as an example. All right. So take note, if school give you any opportunity for these type of things, like Zhao Xuan, go for it. Okay. Go for it for internship. It's very, very useful. I think 我相信吴大哥跟我没有这种机会以前，我们人生是去撞墙去找，对吗，吴大哥？那你看，现在这边的孩子不一样很多机会 ，Don't waste it, go for it. Because the more you take, because I'm also now as an entrepreneur, I also interview people. And I was working in the MNC company before, so it's very important. Okay. Right, carry on. So we finish already. That's why you see, it's a vital performing its role as an entrepot. Okay, please take note of this one. Write down this one. Entrepot 就是这个中心，中央中心。This word is very useful. Entrepot. By right, they should have one more word. Give me a minute. I want to change my form. See if cannot type. It's supposed to be anthropopod. Write down. Anthropopod 就是 like cosmopolitan, metropolitan， 就是一个市中心，HQ， 对吗？你们在中一、中二的时候 ，you all read about this how the monsoon bring the India and the other side of East Asia merchants because of the monsoon season. Then after that, bring to the people to China and to the other part of the Asia. So this is where Singapore was very good in the way strategic locations. Now, children, Bei Kun and Qiao Xing, Xing Chen, Zhao Xuan, and Yang Xiang. The next 10, 15 years after you graduate, the Singapore's financial district or everything all depends all of you. Whether you want to be a lawyer, doctors, engineers, or whatever it is, you will still contribute to society. Because remember, this country is one person, one vote. By voting the governments at the same time by giving back to society is very important. Okay, now you understand, huh? Throughout its history, Singapore has remained tightly integrated with the global trading and financial system. So whoever are good in math, please continue to do and 不会死的. Okay, it's a very tough job. I think Uncle Wu will tell you why. You know, in finance, it's not easy. 不是早九晚五. It's not a 9 to 5 job. If you work in any top big 4 auditing firm like Pricewaterhouse, which I do auditing with them, I was in the IT department. When you come to audit now, it's really, yeah, it give you a good pay. But then you always must Oh, sorry. Can you hear me just now? It was lag, right? Was lagging, right? 吴大哥，刚才你听到我讲话吗？
哦，没有 lagging 了 here， 没有听到，可能要。
对了，我也是在讲，然后我转过去，我看到那个，等一下没看到都 freeze， 我还讲到头是道。OK， 来讲一次啊。You see, because why I give example that why we have to spend so much time like auditing 啊？你懂 auditing 有时候是很久的时间 ，it take a lot of long time to audit a company to make sure the company have a healthy transaction record, to make sure that these companies are right. You know, recently there's a lot of corruptions in certain company like the United Overseas Bank, you know, Tan Wu. So in order to keep this, Singapore has a very honest and clean government. People want to invest here because they know that Bei Kun, imagine your company is going to invest millions of dollars in this country. You make sure your money also want to take back. Correct? You don't want to invest halfway, the next month the government change already. Sorry. Now, the factory, by right, I told you, the previous government say the factory give you freehold. Now I'm the new government, I give you 30 years. It's like, then how my money? 对不对? Right? So you can see the money that Singapore government has been taxing. And I think Wu Dake and me will be a bit quite worried about the GST coming. Right, so let me share with you, guys, since you're listening, GST coming. Some people say, wow, 政府拿到这些 GST 来做什么? Guys, we all know that this GST money is actually coming to help to pay for a lot of things, right? So you know the CDC voucher, the EE vouchers, and all these are giving out the masks and all these things. This morning when I was doing my eco-friendly 在慈济在卖东西, got one parent say, wow, 新加坡 from this COVID, we can tell the rich and the poor country and the attitude of the government. Okay, this mommy was coming from another country, so you're sharing me. Not all countries like Singapore can give out masks, can give out some rebates or things like that. You see, so what we having here is about, you see, the GDP is very important. This one GDP, gross domestic product, is very important. So how the company, why our currency is as strong as the US? Or is close to the United Kingdom pounds, or even the Australia currency. As you know, right, Bei Kun, Xing Chen, and Zhao Xuan, I think Wu Dage will know, Singapore $1 is equivalent to Malaysia $3. Why? Because they show the financial, the increase, all these are very, see, this part here, to show how from a small country we can develop. because of a commitment. Okay, guys. Sorry, I 我在吞口水。星辰, would you mind read to the class, please? For small and open economies.
For small and open economies, continued engagement with world markets is not a choice, but an economic imperative. With little in the way of resource endowment and the absence of a natural economic hinterland, small economies must depend on global markets, free trade, and unfettered capital flows to sustain their livelihood.
Stop. Copy down this sentence. I know it's inside. Yeah, I give you the notes. You see, this sentence is really makes the difference. Why global economy is so important. You see, now you all study social study, you understand. Not only Singapore, right, Beikun, now you understand. People say, wow, don't get people from China, India, Vietnam, don't get people from United Kingdom. Hello, excuse me. Singapore population is so little. 如果我们不要叫 foreigner 来 invest and have increase of population, how? 对不对？贝坤 imagine 你现在是做 property agent 啊 ，OK？ 做 property agent， 你当然是希望外国人来新加坡住，对不对？你说，Mr. Teo 啊，我要找房子嘞，哪里 Marina Garden Marina Bay 那边，懂 Marina Bay 那边的屋子很贵哦，的 sale 对不对？哇，你马上起来了，他一。Okay, sorry, I don't know why it dropped. 对不起，可以吗？可以听到吗 ？Sorry, I don't know why suddenly dropped. So take note of this sentence is very important because you realize that 贝坤，刚才我讲到你是 property agent 对吗？哎， so 不是说我看不起其他新加坡人买不起 Marina Sands 那边的屋子，一定会有人买的。但我们讲说 ，OK， 一个三房式 ，right Singaporean。Our population is this much, and now with the build to order, you have to take note all these things. It's like you don't see that this is nothing to do with you. Build to order flat, HDB flat, right? So you have to know you to use CPF, your ordinary account, all this must take note, okay? 吴大哥，你可以解释给乔欣啊。到现在为止，我不懂为什么吴大哥，每次我讲到公积金 CPF， 有3样东西啊，他们一定不明白，就是 MediSave、MediShield and MediFund。OK， 这三个其实这3个 M 啊，在几年前 exam 有出过。OK，take note 啦 ，MediShield anyway， 吴大哥，我以前是卖保险，所以我有资格讲这个，因为我是confirm is an insurance financial advisor。So MediSave 当然是就是说我们先用那个钱，对吗？来怎么讲？OK，I use English 啊。We can use the MediSave to pay for our own medical expenses as well as our loved one, right? But MediShield, always remember, is a shield that you can co-broke insurance medical expenses with AIA, NTUC income, 对吗？吴大哥 ，right？ 就是理费啊。Then MediFund just remember, OK，MediFund 就是 remember 啊，开玩笑啊，不要生气啊，悲观。就是说现在 Uncle Raymond 交到一半死掉了，说你要去拿白金给我的家人，懂我意思吗？还是交到一半 Uncle Raymond 中 stroke，OK stroke。你懂中风不给教书 ，then 你可怜我就说被困下，各位全部 Uncle Raymond 的学生哦，我们来raise fund 啊 ，you know 啦 ，crowdfunding 啊，100块给 Uncle Raymond to pay for expenses， 明白吗 ？Okay, I'm going to have one lesson just for these 3 topics. Okay, this Medi Fund is for those people. Just remember 红头巾，你懂红头巾吗？被困你懂哦？那些红头巾是应该我们要 respect 了。他们是没有公积金的，都有 CPF， 那怎么办？他们已经80多岁、90多岁了，他们一定是要看医生的，对不对？不是 curse 他们。Then this is where thanks to Uncle Wu, Uncle Raymond and Uncle Mr. Teo, not you Uncle 星辰的 Daddy 妈咪，还有赵璇的 Daddy 妈咪 ，you guys have paid the corporate tax, the income tax, the GST to get all this money to put in the fund for medical use for people who do not have the MediSave, who do not have the MediShield, and maybe they're old and single, or their parents, or their children 抛弃他们，不要照顾他们。他连 Class C， 你懂 Class C 被困 ，Class C 就是 Ward C 都没有资格住，没有钱This is where the MCYS or 福利部政府的福利部就会派人去 take care of them， 明白吗？就是 subsidize。所以被困，你跟我讲了，如果没有这些外国人进来投资这些 taxes， 谁going take care of the old aging population？ Make sense now？ 老师没有跟你讲过这些东西哦，有吗？还是你忘记？有跟你讲吗？他们应该要讲的，这个应该要讲。星辰、赵轩，你有没有？老师有没有跟你讲 ？It's okay， 被困 is okay。Don't disturb your sister， never mind。赵轩老师有没有跟你讲？给了麦maybe. So these are very important. Now you understand why we need the kind of people to come in. Let you see who is going to sweep the floor. Yeah, you can. I got one student. Never mind, Uncle Raymond. I can call artificial intelligence. Yeah, agree. Thanks. I saw your message already. Thank you. Okay. Oh my goodness, is it still hang? Did I share screen? No I didn't share screen I still thought I got share screen. Sorry. I didn't know. Okay, come I go and share screen. No, oh my goodness. Now got share screen? Now got share screen? Yes, okay, thank you. Sorry. Lucky Zhao Xuan say, yeah. Then I say, how come it's not the other side on my screen? Okay, so the teacher can explain to you, right, about the MediSave, MediShield, MediFund, and why people contribute income tax, corporate tax, GST, and all these kind of taxes, or ERP. Even ERP people, okay, we're talking about COE. Uncle Wu will know, right? 吴大哥 COE 人家讲哇，政府拿这些钱连买一辆车都要有一个 birth certificate 吴大哥 I tell you a joke In 19 something when Singapore implements certificate of entitlement to 买车要有 birth cert， 我的老外朋友 say, you must be kidding me. You mean you buy the car in Singapore, you need the cert? That's crazy. Then I explained to them, no, because we need to control the car population in Singapore to prevent pollution. Oh, it's crazy. Now other country knock on our door. Excuse me, can you come and help us to control our pollution and congestion and traffic jam? You see? So 我们会看长远。But it's true enough. Even I got that's why 吴大哥以前旧的 social study 他们有讲 ERP 跟 certificate of entitlement. There's a topic for that in old social study. But guys, don't take these like you won't come out. In fact, I was very surprised Wu大哥. A few years ago, when I was teaching SS, I saw one of the school use ERP and the COE to show about this one of the topic. Why? They say that it's not very feasible because can you imagine ERP? You put the whole island. The moment you come out from car park, ERP. The moment you go for another traffic light, ERP. 神经病. There is no way because no matter how the population of the car come in. Now, guys, you know what happened now? The government say, okay, you want to buy a car? Can. I tax you by the carbon. Remember? The eco-friendly car. No transmissions of so we're using the hybrid, the electrical car. So we move along the way. We really have a R&D, and we need those professors from other countries to have this to capital flow to sustain their livelihood. You see, Xing Chen, carry on. In addition, Xing Chen, thank you. In addition,
a willingness to embrace and adopt new technologies is key to helping these economies capture opportunities. In Singapore, technological adoption is even more urgent in view of the country's aging population and compositional shifts in the labor force over the next decade. The working force population is set to peak in 2018, and the resident labor force growth will slow to 0.7 PA over the next decade, from 1.6% PA on average between 2011 and 2016. For Singapore to sustain healthy growth and living standards to continue rising, it must keep leveraging technology to drive productivity growth.
Okay, I think Utaka and Uncle Raymond will know 20, 30 years to build house, it take a long time. Now they build house very fast. Okay, Utaka, I also a property agent before. So 我什么都做。只是我那时second time 我做的时候 first time 我不用 license 嘛。so 可以开玩笑可以挂羊头卖狗肉。But after that, we have no choice. We have to take a property license, which I did not pass because of the calculation. But anyway, it's not my trade. Because you see, property, you must really make sure that children, we have the aging population, and then Uncle Wu and myself will know that because of aging population, are we going to build more 4-room flat, 5-room flat? And there's this thing called the jumbo 3-generation flat. Why is it? Is it the government want to encourage the 3代同堂 to be inside a household? Then you will ask, will your spouse willing to stay with your great-grandmother or grandmother or your parents-in-law? Or is it they want to have a very small size shoebox condominium where 就是两公婆住? That means now they don't even吴大哥你听过 DINK 吗？听过吗？没有。OK， 你可以写下来。DINK stand for double income no kids 。OK， there's this word double income no kids。但是 DIW 呢是 double income with kids。OK，so this is a thing 真的贝坤 and 赵璇 and 星辰 DINK。Let me type there in the chat group to let you know what is that. I won't be surprised they'll come out this and they give that. This is the acronym. DINK stand for double income no kids. 就是两公婆赚很多钱，可是不要有孩子，等惨了咯，被困。如果你跟你的老婆这样两个都赚1万块、2万块，可是不要有孩子怎么办 ？Get me now? Isn't it true that I think Uncle Wu and myself know China recently, right? 1-child policy, now they changed the concept of 2-child policy, right? Can you imagine? It's also affecting, and then not only in China, Japan is also having this. Europe country is having this. Why? Because of the expenses, because of all these things. Aging population is one of the most headache for all government in the whole world. Agree not? Why? Who's going to take care of Uncle Wu and Uncle Raymond next time when we old? 对吗？可是你知道吗？贝坤 and 星辰 in Singapore, we as a parent, we can sue our children not to take care of us. You know there's this law 美国人喜欢这样的，诉来诉去可是我相信吴大哥跟我们不要这样做，所谓家丑不可宣扬 ，right? We don't have that， 对吗 ？Because we are Asian we don't want to do that， 就算了，就当做没有生这个儿子这个女儿，对吗 ？That's our Asian mentality. But because we have to change, because we have 贝坤、星辰 and 赵轩 and 杨潇 and 肖星, because we are slowly, surely, and definitely influenced by the Americanizations and Westernization. So we have to mold the concept between the both 东西和平, the East and West culture. I'm not sure your teacher tell you. Remember the last topic of chapter 10 is called the hybridization. The hybridization. 记得吗，贝坤 ？Last month 我们有教过你的 homogenization and hybridization. Yes, exactly. Uncle Wu or Mr. Teo and Mr. and Mrs. Teo, your daddy, mommy will not sue you for not taking care of them. In fact, I think Uncle Wu and myself, 你儿子 你够钱吗？我用我的公积金来帮你供房子、供这个，对吗？哦，那个我们赚来的钱过了55岁 ，OK 啊。连你儿子乔欣 ，Daddy 我要结婚了，好，我要买屋子不够钱，好，我帮你结。等等 ，Daddy 我要娶老婆了，好，我要白喜酒，好。You see everything 我们讲难听一点啊，吴大哥跟我两个人是我们所谓的我们的棺材本，我们的retirement fund. Now you understand? We got this CPF Life right now, Pei Kun and Xing Chen. They came out also in one of the SBQ. Right now, CPF Life. Please make note. That one I'm not very sure how it works. But the CPF Life is for Uncle Wu and myself, just in case 我们的孩子不要照顾我们。But not because 他们不要照顾我们，他们有自己的 the problem and stress and other commitment. So we use this money to so-called to have the retirement. I think 吴大哥知道了，在几年前每个人过了55岁，全部可以拿公积金出来。拿。Then 我刚刚才跟我妈的讲 2 days ago， 可是他想，对咯，拿了钱全部去巴丹咯，去找女人啊，去赌博去赌船，赌到1分钱空了，回来完蛋。可是吴大哥 ，I don't know you agree or 被困 or you， 这是我的钱呢，我要怎么花是我的事，对吗？我要去哪里？我要全部给我孩子买做生意，是我辛辛苦苦赚来的钱。If this money I don't use， 我死后我孩子也是拿嘛，对不对 ？Unless I will it. This one you have to take note, children. It's also part of social study. Yeah, seriously. Right, but then my elder son 吴大哥讲 ，No, but because the government has this statistic showing that a lot of children are not taking care of their parents, so they have to use it 未雨绸缪啊，未雨绸缪 seriously， 吴大哥，我相信你知道，在英国、在美国是政府养那些 aging people 对吗 ？Can you imagine 吴大哥 ，you and me we pay so much tax to the government, then 我们去养那些整天好吃懒做，吃白粉。拿钱去赌博 ，you know how you feel? Because my cousin was in London, and sorry, there's no racist. And all they pay the 40% tax. It's so much. My uncle is in New Zealand. They pay the money for 那些毛裔那些人那些安地人the native there for them. So then, if you go to that country, this is how their GST I think is 18 or 20% more, even higher than Singapore. Why? Because the government is such a big country, they have natural resources. Why are they doing that? Okay. Now, this is the part I want to talk about. Globalization and crossroads. Pei Kun, will you mind? This is the last part, then I'll go to the next slide. Okay, let me see. Give me a minute. Because this one is a super, when I read this essay, it was very brilliant that I would like to share. This part, wait, give me a minute. I think this one is, some part here is quite important, yes. Because I only read speed reading, so I can't really remember much. That was 3 weeks ago where I put this. Carry on, Pei Kun.
International trade theory posits that economic openness and the resulting higher growth will lead to a generalized rise in incomes, or reducing income inequality across and within countries. However, actual country experiences have been mixed, with the gains and losses from globalization being unevenly spread out at the international and national levels.
Yes. This part. Okay, I think after a few rounds, 吴大哥 sometimes it coming good. At least 人家 understand how I feel. Because 我跟这些宝贝孩子讲，他们只是OK. The first thing 吴大哥 they ask, got exam will come out. Exam. But you see, social study is not about exam. No. Social study is that after when you graduate, you will understand the implication, how you apply supply and applied it. Okay. So now you see, when I explained to you all just now about getting houses from a big or small, or buying insurance for MediShield, okay, aging population, CPF used for what? For rainy day. Because sometimes in certain countries, globalization's not really benefit. What happened? You know, recently, I think Uncle Wu and myself know, 经济 the financial crisis in 2009, right? The Lehman Brothers, right? The Lehman Brothers, 你懂吗？哇，那个真的很多人，in fact, a few of my friends 有一个我的好朋友，真的是全家自杀。 I was so sad to hear that. 他们炒股票炒到真的全家真的，所以我不敢动股票，吴大哥。It's a true story in Singapore. If you go and search, there's this whole family. 他把他的老婆跟女儿丢下去，连他自己自杀，全家死，就是因为玩股票。So you see, these kind of things is really not just for looking at in the small things. It really impact a lot of household like Bacon. Okay, the reason now I think good for you all to know because this social study is not just it's really 千变万化 because eventually when you go out to work, this subject is actually preparing you to really stay nimble, to stay 未雨绸缪, to save for a rainy day, to make sure that you choose the right government to run so that you can protect your hard-earned money as well as hard-earned money by your parents. And no racism, no stereotyping. And that's why when people look at Singapore, oh, you take this subject, and by the way, social study is a compulsory subject to pass on. Please take note. When you have all the A1s, but your social study or your combined humanities doesn't do well, usually certain subjects, they might take those who are doing well for social study like A1, A2, and B3. Because you have a heart, you are humans. You are able to weigh the pros and cons, how to take care of people. Agree now, Udaka? How to take care of your staff. Right? Oh, still Udaka frozen. Bacon, can you hear me? You saw Uncle Wu's frozen, right? Is it frozen?
It's okay. No problem. No.
So I thought my Wi-Fi got problem. Okay, so you understand now that all these things there's implications. Okay, carry on, Bacon.
In recent years, these outcomes have given rise to concerns about the negative side effects and distributional consequences of globalizations. In particular, the benign view. That means the benign view of
not very
globalization has been challenged by the post-GFC surge in populist and inward-looking sentiments, particularly in the United States and Europe.
Now you understand why, right? Bacon, Zhao Xingchen, and Uncle Wu will know why US has been like embargo trade from China, from certain countries, right? And then you know the previous president of Donald Trump, they do that. They don't want to have this the fossil fuels because he's a businessman, things like that. So you see, children, when there's a change of a president, a change of leadership, you really have an impact. Some will gain, some will lose. True or not, Bacon? You know, you have been studying coming 10 years. I think in your life you have seen a few principal change hand, right? True, agree? 有没有校长？So you can see, 咦，那个校长以前比较好，现在这个校长 so serious。咦，那个以前校长不好，这个校长好，对吧？一样啊。那 form teacher 也是，哇 ，that form teacher so good，哇 ，this form teacher very good， can allow me to go to toilet break. Then you start comparing, true or not? So you see, right? 赵轩 will agree with me, correct or not? Any one of you, even for me, 哇 ，last time 那个老板很好，这个老板为什么这样？ Same thing 啊，贝棍，你 go and eat in a hawker center， 诶，这个猪草以前那个厨师煮的很好，为什么这个厨师煮的这样这么咸？那 in life, definitely that because you want, there's a keyword right now is protectionist. They want to protect their own interests， 没有错吗 ？Correct 啊 ？You want to protect what? In order not to what out of unemployment, nothing wrong. Okay? 贝棍 ，we respect.
Respect to the gains from international trade, these have occurred mainly to regions with a high concentration of export-oriented industries, while the wage gap between skilled and unskilled workers has widened alongside the introduction of new
Write down this one.
technologies.
Yes, write down this one, please. Because Singapore is heavily involved in export trading. Okay, if you go to Tanjong Pagar or where and Sentosa, Tanjong Pagar, which part? Pasir Panjang, you will see a lot of container. Remember last year I showed you guys a lot of container. I went for my staycation, right? I show you a lot of container. 记得吗, Bacon? let's say container. All these container is to transport from Singapore to other country or vice versa, or bring it to Singapore. And because of the free trade agreements, now Singapore have to upgrade. And recently, I think in Channel 8, they show that this operator who control the container, okay, they are highly paid, but they must be very skilled worker. They have to compete with our neighboring country like Malaysia, Thailand, or Indonesia. Same thing, right? In a school, every class also compete one another for EduSave Award for the first, second, third in the class. And for certain school that you go in, like Hwa Chong, Raffles, or in any school, okay? Why? Or in any CCA, or in any jobs, there's only 1 or 2 vacancies, but the applicants might be 100. So how are we going to make that you are special? And the same thing, how can people trust Singapore that Singapore's government and Singapore, this called the import-export trading, the transport side in Singapore can handle the air, the sea, and the land cargo? How can I know that my cargo, when I come to your country, my cargo, the products will ship out safely? There's no nothing missing. This is where we always invest with the technology to handle. Just like airport, how do I know the plane come to Singapore will be safely travel out? How do I know the VTL, the vaccinated travel lane? How do I know that these people are under protected with COVID vaccination? How come we come out with token ring? All these, you see, is technology, children. So next year, when you got your result, my advice is that whether you are in JC or in Poly, you must get one subject that is related to IT. Okay? Seriously, whether you go for law, you go for pharmacy, if this subject got no IT, no programming, you are not going to get any job in the future. Trust me, very, very hard. It's true. Even teachers also need IT, correct now. You see a teacher do PowerPoint, do Kahoot, I don't know what, all the software, right? True now. Right? To make the things more interesting, it's no choice. Of course, if your grandma and granddad don't know how to use PowerPoint, it's okay, right? True now. They don't know how to use Microsoft, it's true, it's okay. But Uncle Wu and myself, if we are already this age already, we still have to continue learning. That's why it got Skill Future. Okay, so, okay, this one we'll stop here. Then we're gonna stop here and go through. Where is my slide? Give me a minute. I'm looking for the other slides. I think this one. No. Oh, yeah. Okay, this one. Okay, I want to emphasize for this. Just now we talked so much about economic impacts, whether benefits or not. Where it benefits the countries, the company, or individual, listen carefully. It's quite important here. Not quite, it's important. First, whether, look at this picture here. Is it country or is it individual? You see, it's T stand for trillion of dollars. They I show you this picture, but this picture can reflect about the benefits. Look at this, US, such a big pie. China, this, and then there are some other countries in there. Now, whether you impact the countries, the companies, or individual, what is the benefit of doing that? First, these are the 3 circles. In my opinions, a country started with individual, right? Why? Because individuals is the one who make the decision. Like for example, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or Jack Ma. These are all individual. Agree? Agree? Why these individuals slowly form into companies? Agree? Then only when they start to form, the company get bigger, the countries, the government will start thinking, wow, Jack Ma, you're earning a lot of money there. It's time to tax you more. True that. Because at the same time, Jack Ma's company like Alibaba and Tencent or Ant Group, they have employed a lot of people. Same thing like Dell Computer, HP Computer, Starbucks, Yakun, BreadTalk, Sake Sushi, Nike, Adidas, all just to name this all company. You agree with me, Pei Kun and Zhao Xuan and Xing Chen and Yang Xiang, that all these started with 1 or 2 person, a sole proprietor. Then slowly they grow into big companies, right? So to me, individuals is where it benefits first. Because if these small companies, they don't be successful and they go bankrupt, then seriously, it's just like, I think all of you agree, right? You going to war, it's not the general to fight in the war, true or right? It's the soldiers. But the soldier fight in the war just, you study history now? No, okay. Zhao Xue, you study history now? No, so you know Hitler, right? Hitler, right? Hitler was from a very small, like no rank soldier, right? Then he rose to become chancellor, become the prime minister, right? 对吗？还有谁啊？我们来讲《三国演义》就好，对吗？对吗？刘备、张飞还有关羽，他们是从无名小卒，对吗？ Then when they want to form the alliance to fight against 那个董什么 the prime minister, right? Nobody want to look at him, but slowly he built the army and slowly get 诸葛亮. Same thing. So I feel that individuals is more important. Without the individual to come up with smart and ideas, yeah, but some students argue with me, Bei Kun and Qiao Xing and all of you are listening. Some say no. If the country's government do not implement a good policy, do not have a visions, and Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, that they have this called a leadership with a good view and anticipate change and stay relevant. I don't think that if the country is not doing well, then you will not have individual. I quite disagree. I always believe 时势创英雄，对吗？我用对字吗？ There's always difficult time 时势创英雄，对，真的，好像 COVID-19， 你可以看得出。 真的抛腰包出来帮忙这个社会，哪一个是真的是英雄 ？Right? And then now we know it's not the air stewardess who serve us, it's the nurses who is always looking down. And now the nurses, they think they are appreciative. And some of the doctors who came out, and then you see like in China, there are a few doctors because of 牺牲小我完成道. So I find it, no matter how strong the country policy, if the individual don't put in the efforts to do their own, it's also no point, 对吗？一个国家可以用一个人来出卖整个国家，一个国家可以用一个人来牺牲。Right? I think 吴大哥 I was surprised of 吴大哥。我问几个学生我说屈原就是端午节，屈原就是端午节，对吗？
对，
那个粽子粽子对。
Yes.
I got one student, I nearly found out, what type of hamburger is that? I was like, excuse me, hamburger? 哪种汉堡包没有听过 I was so shocked, no? This is our Chinese history 对吗，吴大哥？就是那个屈原，就是他笨将跳进那个河，为了要救整个
汨罗江。
对咯 ，This is such a good, you see. So I use that history to relate. In my opinion, 我觉得是最适合不过的。他为了一个牺牲，因为他觉得我这个皇上要跟另外一个国家 collaborate, but it is confirmed is not a win-win situation. It's going to die. I'm not going to do that. That's why you see some company, they merge, they separate, they bankrupt. I feel that individual CEO is very important. No matter how good the country is, the policy, the infrastructure, the building, you have a nice building, but individual to me would really have the benefits to how to do it. I mean, that's how I see it, okay? I leave it to you whether you agree or not agree. Okay, so this is my definition I went through already. I want to mention about just now that individual, companies, and countries, okay? Yeah, then you see. So this is first, I think we talked about, okay, the impacts on countries, right? The free trade agreement, take note. And we also talk about how the company, sorry, this is country, how the companies can form into multinational company like CapitaLand. Okay, but you see a CapitaLand, I still think it still drive, okay, CapitaLand, of course, you can follow the country's policies, rules, and regulation, but you see, individual is the one, in my opinion, that makes the difference. That makes the talk, because why you join that school, why you join that CCA, why you follow, why you go and migrate to another country, or why you join that company, because I know the company or the countries are good, but because when you go there, you go to the school there, of course you say the school is good, but because it's the leader in that particular school, in that particular country, in that particular company, transform the whole entire concept， 对吗？just like 被困，如果你要跳槽去另外一个公司，你要去那边是，如果你的 ex boss 去另外公司，你跟着他是因为他有那个 leadership qualities， 对不对？是真的。in your real life, that's how I feel it 啦。So in case why I'm 我讲了这么多老半天啊 ，children, the reason is there will be right now there will be question asking you about this one， confirm 的，一定会出。这个 topic 你每年你去看那个一定会出的 ，is like 怎么讲 top 10啊 ，OK will come out this kind of question OK so take note 啊 ，so I already want to hope 你可以跟乔欣还是跟他讲说 please come out something to write about it why you feel that individuals outweigh the OK there's no right or wrong answer children you can say no Uncle Raymond I disagree with you I don't think individuals has a very strong economic impacts and benefits. I think country is more important. Then please bring your point. Right, 贝坤，你明白吗？贝坤 I cannot say no, you are wrong. I cannot say you choose this one. No. If your point is sustainable, that's the beauty of social study. That you put your train of thoughts inside. Right? 你听过这句话，贝坤，上梁不正下梁歪哦。It's true, right? So if 如果上梁不正的话，下梁全部对不对 ？Right, the company will collapse because the lousy leaderships. That's what I feel. So please take note. These questions is really will come out. And trust me, Beikun. Maybe after Chinese New Year, you can tell, hey, Uncle, really, they came out something like that. You were either in SPQ or SRQ1, confirm. Okay. So recap. This is what we're going to do. Recap on what we have learned about this one. Okay. We're going to do another slide here. Wu 大哥，你要跟乔欣讲 the next 2 weeks before the Chinese New Year, I may have a mini test. Okay, a mini test. So like every month, I think the Set 4 student all agree, right? Last month, then Uncle Raymond told you every month there will be a mini test. Of course, I'll be testing this one. The 3 impacts, the individual companies and countries. And now out of this, okay, Xing Chan, please turn on your camera. I want, okay, Bei Kun, you start first. Bei Kun, out of this so many, which one do you think has the most globalization impact? You may came out, it come out before something like that. Okay, Xing Chan, are you there? And Zhao Xuan, maybe you can, if you can talk, then you talk. If you cannot talk, then you maybe type your answer will do, okay? Xing Chan, which one do you think is has the greatest economic or global impact out of so many? I start first, I'll give you some time to think about it. So 吴大哥，我们来一起，也是你给你的意见。If you ask me, from this 21st century, like let's say before that, like Uncle Wu and my time, I will not take this one. Where is it? I just saw. I will not take terrorism. Okay, I will take about these ideologies, about this capitalism or cultures. I'm talking about in the 1970s and 80s. But if I'm talking about year 2000 and now, 2022, I will take terrorism. In my opinion, why you see, 吴大哥 please 跟乔欣讲 because at the last topic we are talking about cyber security, 对吗？贝坤 and 星辰 right? Now you know right? 我一个 student， 我讲了这么多废话你把那个最重要的一点放在 last topic， then COVID-19 我们学不到东西耶。then 我就跟他讲我们不是神的 we cannot predict. The reason why they choose the last topic, I think the MOE has done a good job. 贝坤，天下没有说十全十美。You get me? I can tell you, go. Then suddenly this terrorism will spoil your whole entire things. True not? You can plan them bloody well, but if God propose and oppose you, 你是 sorry man, 对不对 ？Right? So always believe in this, children. If you fail to plan to fail. So 当你读 chapter 1到 chapter 9的时候，你觉得OK， 好像万无一失，对吗？我可以用这个字吗？万无一失 ，very nice But this terrorism come in, good luck to you, man. I go destroy your I think 吴大哥你懂那个奥萨马你懂 right I really got a joke 在旧的 SS&Q 他看到马来人在电梯那个华人讲I don't want to take leave terrorist I will walk the stairs then another joke 他翻那个 stair 27楼 then 他 regret 早知道我坐电梯So there was this SVQ come out to show that you are very racist 不是每个马来人就是 terrorist agree not 贝坤 right it can be any color 对吗吴大哥可是这个概念就是跟我们讲说 I feel it I think you just like take for example 你家里做到很美可是你家里没有一个 security system 你是引狼入室的对不对你没有 CCTV 你没有那个 watchdog 你没有 security guard OK 你没有买一个好的 lock It's like one will say remember I like this as a police officer I will say in Singapore no crime doesn't mean no crime 对吗吴大哥防备是很重要哇不用紧新加坡很 safe 的不用紧我放那个 handphone 在那个 food court 人家不会拿的please 你不要这种想法因为吴大哥那时我在 Starbucks 做工很 cute 他们在 Paragon 他们就放那个 laptop 啦放那个包不是钱包那警察走过can you tell a customer then I tell my customer say sir I think you should not no worry Singapore very safe by the way your Starbucks got camera one he said then what just imagine I bluffed him then what happened my camera spoil then what about you I think he said and also your staff very good you will help us to look after the things 吴大哥他们懂这个成语叫做路不拾遗这个成语很好用对吗有这个成语路不拾遗记得有这个我觉得这个成语很好用因为在中国有一个时段那东西都是放在no 等一下他们会来拿的不用怕哇对那个人就看到哇这个国家治安的很好路不拾遗可是对不起在这个21世纪没有每个人是路不拾遗人会什么牵手什么羊一个成语
顺手牵羊
顺手牵羊sorry that's not agree I think terrorist is very particular 为什么吴大哥就是有7个 7 deadly sin jealousy and because of people are against certain religions especially France you know right you cannot put your Toulon all these things 为什么 France 一直有 terrorism 对吗吴大哥你叫我去我也不敢去不要有那个巴黎什么叫我看那个埃菲尔塔不用我去看长城比较好No seriously this is not a joke it's seriously I find terrorism is one of the most serious impact of the 21st century if we don't get rid of this terrorism you know the word terrorism the inside got the ERR and error you realize that terrorism got and error so a terrorism make error with terror and that's why it become terrorism and it's a terrorist so 全部在里面的 ERR 也是一个不好的 TERRO 也是不好的 so 全部都不好 so I will take it please take note seriously I hope this year all of you will cover the last topic and this last topic 吴大哥因为这个 topic 会有如果乔欣还是以后你的朋友的孩子他们要读 cyber security 在 Poly 还是 GC 懂 cyber security 这个 topic 很 popular 嘛 then 我有一个学生他现在是在新加坡的 Army 担任是 cyber security officer 人家拿枪去冲他拿 keyboard 很爽那写在 aircon so, Uncle Raymond people use M16 and so on charge then what you do I'm in the cyber security room 哇很爽aircon but 他的工作很重要如果是差错整个系统就完蛋了And guess what? When he was in Poly, he was involved with all the programming. He was sent to US for competition, and it represents the Poly as top 3 in the whole world. And 2 years ago, one of my students, because of COVID, he cannot take the topic. So I went through with him a bit. And he's now in cybersecurity course in Republic Poly or Ngee Poly. So this topic is very important. Don't just joke. So you see, social 息息相关的 Okay, so I talk so much.
Sorry, Uncle, let me just disturb you. Sorry, just now what you mentioned about you last time you working Starbucks. Interesting. How to apply working in Starbucks？
哦，你要做吗？
我朋友
哦，可以，我可以，因为很奇怪，我那个是我的好朋友的太太，他是regional manager，所以那时候我已经resign from MOE 了，所以我就说早上没有事情做吗，大哥，反正闲聊嘛，就去那边，可是我不是泡咖啡的哦，我是在那边洗碗，真的洗碗，跟说excuse me sir, can I clear your plate？ 就是抹地打杂的。
哦，也是可以啊，对小孩子可以。
1个钟头好像是9块，我忘记了，还是7块半。可是我有 free 的咖啡嘞，不错啊。
OK，very good。
如果你要的话，还有另外一个是果汁酥，是那个醇香。是日本的料理，不过它的猪肉是从西班牙的，因为现在我也是在那边做工。
OK，好。
最近他们也是做肉干，所以我也是在帮他们推销我是什么都做了，只要不是
很好，
我就不要做。可以，我可以你我的电话是吗？你
对。
他们正在找人，说真的。
OK，
好处是什么嘞？你做了，如果是 full time 的话，they will give you the share， 有股票。
OK， 这么
then 你介绍，好像他介绍你进去他还有200块到300块介绍费。
OK，
对，那是我做了，我介绍我一个学生，他是我的学生，可是他是China， 可是在新加坡了。那我介绍他，过了6个月，那个 Starbucks 真的给我300块。
哇 ，very good
可是我给我那个学生。可是他是跟他妈妈是所谓how say it's a single mom。可是他现在在这边so call I call 他，我是他的干爹这样，因为他现在一个人在这边。
You're like a mentor very good。
mentor that's why 他 after that 做 Starbucks 也做了2-3年，不错，而且 because Starbucks you have to speak English 嘛。
practicing。
对，我现在 because of their background he's now working in HP。
OK，
爸妈现在是在辽宁
辽宁
真的是相依为命是真的相依为命。
very good。
OK， 谢谢真的。我有一个学生现在在那边做 part time 也是。带果汁酥，对 ，OK， 好。So OK， 贝坤。Which one will you choose?
Environment.
Environment all right, man. Okay, I should choose that since I'm also in eco-friendly. So I'm running this business also. But anyway, it's true terrorism also can create eco-friendly problem. Okay, why environment?
Because due to globalization, they industrialize and sometimes because of the competition against companies, they will just use they will just try to in a way disrupt the environment and then get more money.
Well done. So we are talking about global warming, pollutions, right? Sustainability. And you are really relating to your geography subject. Well done. Now you see. So if I'm the employer, I would definitely want to employ you already. Seriously, I would definitely employ you already. Because my company, we are talking about maybe manufacturing car, right? So or maybe doing something that is advocate to environments one. You are in already. Okay. Yeah, and then with your results so good, you straight away we will want to groom you to be one of the top middle management, and then slowly eventually regional. So this is from my experience I'm sharing with you. I think Uncle Wu will agree, because environments is 息息相关的. Because without a right environment, I think we're going to affect many generations to come. You know, Finland is the flag is white color, right? The white color and the blue, right? So that day my son showed me the flag will turn green. You say why? Because all the ice melted. So the flag will be green and blue, you know, like the flag of Finland. because the background 是白色嘛。They say which more green color? Because all the ice melt, it become green color 嘛，草原了。Oh my gosh! See, so environment is very important. I agree. Very good, well done. I would like you to add one more point. In fact, all of you take notes. Environment is where now the COP26 你听过哦 ？Recently 那个整个地球吴大哥你听过吗 ？The COP26. You can write down because this COP26 is about talking about environmental 的整个世界就会他们是最近在巴黎开会，就说 how to reduce the pollution, the carbon footprint. So they are telling China, the US, the Japan, all countries, hey India, don't burn so much. Then you say, yeah, okay, then I don't burn, then who is going to do this and that? Don't cut so many trees. Go and tell US don't cut so many trees. Things like that. Talk about human rights, all these things. So eco-friendly or environmental sustainability, the COP26, please take note. Go and read. In fact, last month, I did one of the boot camp, and one of the topic is environmental, environment friendly. And I got my boss from Indonesia to do the Zoom and show it that this the glacier melting is going to be, that's why you saw it affect the whole environment, the ecosystem. Then you ask me, right, Pei Kun, why got to do with globalization? Of course, if the country always flooding, okay, always got pollution, will you want to invest? Will you want to put your stuff to have lives taken there, correct? And recycle? 不要吗？那你明白吗？ So if Singapore keep emphasizing of eco-friendly and things like that, you will be coming and say, yeah, I want to invest in Singapore. This is in line what we are doing. And it's true, like a lot of Europe are doing that. And now China also doing that. And I know when I was in Beijing, luckily, I heard Beijing, because it's very near to the Gobi Desert, right? They got this sandstorm coming in. And then before Olympic 2008, Beijing also want to cut down all these things. Why? If it's too polluted, nobody want to invest. 对吗？贝库，你去你的朋友的家，用你去他的家，如果你拖鞋，你进去门里面，他的地好像几个月没有抹没有擦，你出来的时候你的脚肮脏灰尘，那个杯你要喝的时候I think I better don't drink， 那杯没有洗，你要喝吗 ？Will you want to visit your friend again? No, right? But imagine you go to your friend's house, the door open, then the robot 欢迎光临，请换拖鞋。哇，那请吃寿司。哇，主人说你很累了，我跟你按摩，这是 Ocean。哇 I tell you, you say, hey bro, I want to go to your house again. 真的。So that is the thing, you see. The environment is really important. And I forgot that you link this. You have to link to this. You see my mouse? Technology. Okay, well done. Technology, true not? 息息相关的。All right, thank you. 星辰 which one will you choose? Out of so many here, you can choose the same, No worry.
Free trade.
Yes, Xingchen, which one will you choose? And Zhao Xuan,
Free trade.
free trade. Okay, please explain why. Yes, sir. Why?
It
Why free
allows
trade?
for the most exchange of services.
What? Exchange what? Sorry.
It allows for the largest quantity of exchange of services.
Oh, okay. Carry on then.
That's all.
That's all. I think free trade is very important now because remember the tariff, the taxes, right? All these taxes and tariff makes the goods to be very expensive. And I think all of you know that Singapore is going to go in for inflation already. 东西越来越昂贵. So can free trade help now? Yes. Especially right now, free trade, in my opinion, will help the poorer country and the lower income people, where they will not tax those essential goods, like example, medicine, maybe rice, the staple food, the day-to-day food. Of course, you want to tax, of course, Uncle Wu will agree lah. 当然是 tax 那些几百年的那个酒那酒高粱的酒，那 XO 啦。Anyway， 我不喝酒的，所以我每次我朋友说，哇，这个酒很贵，你懂我讲什么？吴大哥，give me one cup of orange juice, please. So the wine itself, the taxes like 香烟wine 对吗？ car 这种 expensive ostentatious good they will tax higher. But free trade help to have these taxes so that this money can help to do other things like what Xing Chen says is true. The jobs opportunity, correct me if I'm wrong, did I hear wrongly, will give more benefits and right, Xing Chen, you say job opportunities, right? Do you say that? Yes, Xing Chen. Do you say that just, huh?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. How about Zhao Xuan? Zhao Xuan, are you there? No, okay. Never mind. So globalization, I go quickly, is the spread of manufacturing. That was in the past, manufacturing and services and market and all these. But the most important thing about broader sense is how they impact the people and the nation, how they integrate. Like what you say is true, Pei Kun. You can have manufacturing, you pollute the environment. You can have services, go, okay, imagine Pei Kun, 每个人都是 go grab car, okay 啦 ，grab car 也是会有 pollution 嘛，对不对 ？Right, diesel fuel. OK, 我不要驾车了 ，OK， 我每次搭德士咯。德士也是有 pollution 嘛 ，diesel fuel, right? OK, then lifestyle. OK, lifestyle 就是说，你看啊，所以有时候真的I cannot take it when 那些国家浪费那些食物啊，你把那食物浪费掉不用紧 ，then 把它丢掉 throw away。And then 你懂那种吴大哥那种 Paris 啊，summer collections 啊，那种穿那个毛衣啊，穿了一下子就丢掉哦。哇，你看那些贫穷的国家，连衣服没有穿都冻死嘞。Then here they are walking on the model summer collection, winter collection, the bikini collection, all these things. I always tell, is it a must? Is this kind of fashion necessary? Yeah, 这个是需求啊，是给那些有钱人的。That's one 不用讲的。为什么不要把这些钱，好像这些 fashion 过期了 ？Can we donate to these people rather than throw into the 那个垃圾桶，还是去烧掉？这样不是更污染哦？对吗，贝坤 ？That's where your environment comes in, right? Like 有些好像我相信贝坤，以前你那些过年的衣服啊，好像小孩子穿过年的恭喜发财那种，你懂小孩子要穿很 Q 哦。I think 小新也是有穿过哦，像那个戴那个帽子恭喜发财呢，他已经长大了。What about all these shirt 对吗？你懂恭喜发财穿那个龙袍这样很 Q right？ 那奶奶爷爷看到哇很好But all these shirt are we going to throw away or are we going to sell it to Galaguni or give it to Salvation Army？ 对吧？废物利用。Exactly. It's not about A1 in math and science. It's about how we help the impacts on people and nation. Geography is irrelevant? No. Yeah, well done, Pei Kun. You got it. It's definitely relevant. It's not irrelevant. It's definitely relevant. Okay, now some things about how in Nigeria, okay? So we don't talk about this so much. So go back to the slide now. As I mentioned, every week we have to go through this one, like it or not. So I think only you and Xing Chen because I think no need to ask Uncle Wu lah. Okay, so what have you learned today? Uncle Wu will know. Okay, that will be Qiao Xing to answer. Okay, Pei Kun, so what have you learned today? 吴大哥，现在每个 lesson 我要他们用我这个 method。所谓why? Because it's not only for SS lah. Also for Qiao Xing to use it for math science. So at the end of the day, instead of 你懂在学校，当那老师教完他就走掉，然后他们就拿 handphone 出来看是什么 ？Why don't you sit there to reflect? Hey, so what did I learn from today's lesson? Can I apply not? What are the 2 things that I learned from the teachers? So 你长年累月累积这些到 exam 你就已经你懂每天你积少成多，你每天放1块钱在你的 piggy bank By the end of the year, 你是不是很多钱？ I use this
聚沙成塔，集腋成裘啊！
对 ，right。所以你每天这样一直 continue to， 你不要当着所谓 I like to use this one， 平时不烧香，临时抱佛脚。True 的，被困 correct 了。So now every day you do not just for my SS my dear, all your subject. In fact, this is only 1/3 of my formula 被困。I still got other formula, but if you can do this, it's very good. So, Pei Kun, so what have you learned from today's lesson? with little in the way of resources endowment, and the absence of a natural economy in the land, small economies must depend on global markets, free trades, and unfiltered capital flows. Okay, why you type this? This is what you learn, huh? Okay, well done. Good, good, good. Okay, so are you going to apply these skills, this paragraph immediately? Yes, right. In your SS, right? Wrong. In your essay for English, and also when you talk to your teacher during your oral, during your teacher, or even when you go for interview for EAE, you know what's EAE, right? Why do you want to take this course? Because I can do this. You want to make yourself 3P, more performance, more productive, and more professional. Get it? So what are the two things that you learned from today's lesson? Don't say I learned because Uncle Raymond worked in Starbucks. Okay, very good. What have you learned?
SME is a company that's not over 200 workers.
Okay, good. It might change, but so far all these years have been like that. Okay. It's very important to you, Pei Kun, because one day, if people say, if you tell people, I want to be tauke, I want to be Lao Ban, if that guy would laugh at you, ignore him. Always believe in yourself. Okay, eating. Who knows? One day you become a multi-millionaire, Uncle Raymond might be working for you, no? 对吗？对吗？吴大哥，可能我老了不可以教书，我做 security guard 也不错吗？我还可以炫耀，这个公司是我的，老板被困请我的，哇！现在 I feel proud 嘞，对吗？真的，这个世界你不懂 what will happen， 对吗，大哥
？Yes, correct. You
这个
cannot
世界
predict
小的，你需要我做人就是谦虚一点，你 never know, you be everyone is like you treat everyone equally, 一视同仁 then life will be very nice.
Yes, correct. Must be humble.
Correct. So, Pei Kun, what is the next thing that you learn?
Geography is also very important in social studies.
Yeah. So now, every time you start there, you think, wait, how can my geography, this topic, geography we learn about 侨兴是 history 对吗？侨兴是 history right?
Yes.
对吧 history 其实比 geography 来得更好，在真正的生活中。孙子兵法，为什么希特勒是这样？为什么 Stalin 是这样？对吗？
对。
你看三请诸葛亮 ，in life is also true, right？ 对吗？我要请那个Mr. Wu 来我们公司，你去跟他谈一下，你跟他拉一点关系。对 ，it's true 啊。This is we learn from history.
Yeah.
So geography, Pei Kun, last time I did teach geography. I hope no change. You got this human environment and physical environment, correct? So now you're using the physical environment, applying to this one. While doing this, you're using human environment to say that improve tourism. Got you right. Correct now. There's one topic about tourism. Why people don't want to go to Bali, want to go to certain country because of they polluted the whole beaches. So the government, hey, stop. No. You know Venice, they are sinking, right? So they control certain population of tourists to go there, right? Because of environment. You see, it helps you. Because once you start there in geography, you can bring this to the exam. You know why not? The last 2 years, my nephew was doing geography. I saw this topic called tourism. And it came out in the exam. Go and check your O-level paper. You'll know why. So you did the right thing, man. Very good. Well done. Xing Chan. So what have you learned from today's lesson? Uncle Wu and Uncle Raymond 要去喝咖啡了。Yes, Xing Chan, what have you learned today? You're typing? Okay, Zhao Xuan, do you want to say anything? Or if not, then you just show thumbs up. I hope you are well. Drink a lot of water. Okay, drink a lot of water, huh? Stay well. If you're not well, tomorrow don't go to school, okay? Stay at home. All right, stay at home. Okay, Xing Chan. 10-second rule. No? That's all? Okay, Udaka, you want to share what have you learned from this today's lesson?
Oh, very good. You should be explain about the CPF lah, Medishield, Medifund, and Medisave lah. It's quite useful. Also CPF Life. It's quite very.
好，谢谢，谢谢，谢谢。
Okay, thank you very much for
Thank
sharing.
you. Okay, 好，就好。So next week I might preparing a short test for all of you.